Right now, this morning, Trump's Pentagon pick under fire. Why Pete Hegseth's confirmation hearing is turning into a heated showdown on Capitol Hill. And are you noticing more tears ahead? Why the cold weather may be behind the extra waterworks while you're outside.
Plus, light snow in the forecast today with the possibility of milder conditions for the next couple of days. More about that in just a moment.
This is News 8 Now, this morning.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Alexandra Carter.
And I'm Art Jarrett.
It is Wednesday, January 15th. It's another morning where you kind of just try to run to your car as soon as possible. Warm it up. Never warms up fast enough, does it?
Well, slowly but surely, we're going to kind of bump your numbers up as we go in the next couple of days. We're seasonal average temperatures as we get into the afternoon. But for now, this early morning, Alexandra's correct. It is cold out there. Minus 15 for some locations, possibly for the early morning hours. But light snow kicks in as we go into the afternoon, especially up for Ladysmith and Eau Claire. They could see that around the 3 o'clock hour. So once we get into at least our area, we're going to hold on to at least drier conditions until we get into about the 5 o'clock hour, maybe 4 o'clock. Milder conditions will ensue as we go into Thursday and Friday. You can see right here holding on to conditions like this for the early morning hours. We'll also see seasonal average temperatures, as I mentioned before, so we're looking at mostly 20s today. Then as we get into the 5 o'clock to 12 o'clock hour for La Crosse, you're going to be seeing that snow pretty much kick in for everybody. All right, so as we go into it here, we're also going to be looking at this. We're going to hold on to the breezy conditions through Saturday, possibly into Tuesday as well. We'll hold on to this moisture working its way in, getting into Minneapolis right now. Eventually, we'll hold on to the possibility of current temperatures, as I mentioned before. They're looking at minus 12 right now for current temperatures in Eau Claire, minus 4 for Winona, 1 degree or so for La Crosse. But how does it feel on your skin out there? Well, you're looking at least minus 15 for areas by Ladysmith, minus 12 for Eau Claire, and minus 10 for La Crosse. When I get into the forecast for you, when I return, I'll have more of that coming up for you in just a bit.
The National Weather Service says the LA fire risk is higher today after a short reprieve yesterday and is re-upping the severity of its red flag warning. CAL FIRE now ranks the Eaton blaze as the most destructive in Southern California history and the Palisades fire as the second. Officials say together they've burned more than 12,000 structures. Investigators are trying to find out how the fire started and became so destructive.
We know everyone wants answers and the community deserves answers.
New analysis of images from satellites and wildfire cameras suggests the Palisades fire may have ignited near the burn scar from a blaze earlier this month. The Eaton fire, newly released video of flames near an electrical tower on January 7th, could be a clue for that one. Experts say a perfect storm of wind and dryness caused the fires to spread rapidly. Today, another round of Trump cabinet picks heads to Capitol Hill for their Senate confirmation hearings as President-elect Donald Trump works to shore up his administration ahead of Monday's inauguration. None seen as potentially controversial as Defense Secretary nominee Pete Hegseth. Yesterday, Democrats grilled the Army vet on his qualifications and a litany of personal scandals. CBS's Jared Hill reports.
That I don't have a similar biography to defense secretaries of the last 30 years.
Before the Senate Armed Services Committee, Pete Hegseth painted himself a change agent as President-elect Donald Trump's pick to head the Department of Defense.
It is time to give someone with dust on his boots the helm.
The Iraq and Afghanistan war vet stressed his focus would be on restoring a warrior mentality. Republicans praised his experience on the battlefield.
Mr. Hegseth will bring energy and fresh ideas to shake up the bureaucracy.
But Democrats argued the 44-year-old isn't qualified for the demands of the job, leading an agency of more than 3 million people with a budget of nearly $1 trillion, citing Hegseth's handling of 2 veterans nonprofits.
By the time you left, that organization had deep debts.
And questioned allegations of sexual misconduct and sexual assault at a California hotel in 2017.
I was falsely charged. Fully investigated and completely cleared.
Lawmakers also zeroed in on these comments from just a few months before.
I'm straight up saying we should not have women in combat roles.
Will you support women continuing to have the opportunity to serve in combat roles?
Yes, women will have access to ground combat roles, given the standards remain high.
Republican Senator Joni Ernst, a one-time Hegseth skeptic, now one of many GOP leaders on board, potentially paving the way for Hegseth to take the helm.
Today, Pam Bondi, Trump's pick for Attorney General, Senator Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State nominee, and Governor Kristi Noem, Trump's choice for Homeland Security Secretary, are among a number of cabinet picks scheduled for their confirmation hearings. Also happening today, millions of TikTok users could learn if your favorite app will survive in America. The High Court took up the case just last Friday after TikTok and its creators sued to block the federal ban, arguing it violates free speech. If justices don't intervene, the ban will take effect Monday unless ByteDance sells the platform to a non-Chinese owned company. Breaking overnight, a stunning development from South Korea. President Yoon Suk-yeol now in custody after investigators arrested him at his residential compound. This comes after he declared martial law in the country late last year, claiming the opposition party had paralyzed state affairs. The arrest comes one day after he skipped his impeachment trial's opening hearing. That is now set to resume tomorrow. 2 cattle died in a semi-rollover crash in Lansing, Iowa. In a release, the Allamakee County Sheriff's Office said the livestock trailer overturned at the intersection of Iowa 26 and Highway 82. The truck was carrying 75 cattle. The driver was not hurt. A major La Crosse roadway could see big changes as WisDOT plans to overhaul Highway 35. Community members spoke out at yesterday's public safety meeting on improvements for US 1461 and US 53. WisDOT officials say driver feedback will help target key problem areas.
The public is the one that's using the roadway. They're walking, biking, traveling. They know the issues that are out there and maybe can give us a great perspective on what might do the best job at addressing those issues. So really getting feedback from those that are using the roadway and how we can best improve the area out there.
The study is expected to be finished by the spring. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers taking action on gun violence, creating a new state prevention office. The executive order follows last month's deadly shooting at Madison's Abundant Life Christian School. $10 million will launch the effort, with staff developing public safety campaigns and reviewing state policies. And Wisconsin's fight over toxic PFAS chemicals now in the hands of the state Supreme Court. At issue is whether the DNR can force businesses to test for these harmful chemicals found in everyday items like nonstick pans. The state's largest business group argues the DNR lacks authority, having won in lower courts. But in yesterday's hearing, justices appeared to side with environmental regulators who say the state's spill law covers newly discovered hazards.
This happens all the time. An agency has a general regulatory statute that sets out a standard, and it's presented with new sets of facts. You know, does this new activity fall within the statutory standard?
There is no principle that I'm aware of in the law that if the legislature passes a broad, somewhat vaguely worded statute, but specific enough to do something, that they can't act until they pass, until they have a rule.
The ruling could impact communities like French Island, where residents have relied on bottled water for 4 years now. No word on when the court will decide, but we'll keep you updated. A historic chapter is ending in Chippewa Falls. The Leinenkugel Brewery closing its doors Friday after more than 150 years there. Molson Coors is moving production to Milwaukee, leaving 56 workers without jobs at the Chippewa Falls location. The La Crosse Regional Airport hoping to get Delta's wings back in the air, asking county leaders for a $250,000 liftoff. News 8 Now's Jeremy Wall reports.
You don't want to fly American, you're forced to drive to another airport. That's really inconvenient.
Zachary Hamar is one of several travelers who would love to see another airline back at La Crosse Regional Airport. He hopes it would go to more places, including other hub airports.
If possible, even further out could also be convenient, but just somewhere that'd be able to connect to a lot of other destinations.
La Crosse Regional Airport has been down to one airline since June 2023, when Delta left because of a lack of workers.
That impacts prices too for flights in and out of La Crosse. So by bringing in another carrier, another airlines, hopefully that's going to improve not only the pricing, but just options, travel options in general.
Airport business manager J.D. Roberts says bringing Delta back requires a major investment, $1.5 million for a minimum revenue guarantee to lower Delta's risk of losing money.
So a new airline comes here, they have a certain amount of risk. If they have their target goals of what their ticket prices, margins, things like that are going to be, then we actually will cover any losses that they would incur if the ticket sales weren't up to their standards.
Airport is now asking the county board for up to $250,000 to help them reach that goal. Officials say without more options, airport usage will only keep going down.
It's definitely cut it about a little more than in half. So we were typically about 95,000 enplanements. We are down about 40,000. So it really has cut in the last year and a half here.
In La Crosse, Jeremy Wall, News 8 Now this morning.
And the airport is trying to get any airline it can. The county will vote at 6 p.m. tomorrow on whether or not they'll match those funds for the minimum revenue guarantee. The time now is 6:09. Still ahead on your morning news, Capital One is being sued. We'll tell you why. The FDA proposing nutrition labels on the front of food packaging, and egg prices are still soaring. Facebook is eliminating its fact checkers. Coming up, we'll have more on how the social media giant plans to handle misinformation and what it means for users on the platform. And for now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. This is a mysterious sight happening on Sydney's shores. Perfectly round balls of sand keep washing up by the thousands. The marble-sized spheres, you see them here, they've prompted officials to close 9 beaches while they investigate this peculiar puzzle rolling in with the tide. Creepy. As you start to wake up this morning, leaving you with a quick wake-up call with the city where Crocs were invented. All right, that's Denver, Colorado. Thank you for your service. Stay with us. Your consumer news is coming up.
Hi, my name is Tom Hammes. I work for Maxwell Whitewater Conditioning. We want all of our customers to be as informed as possible, so we present an agenda at every call that we go to. We present this to the customer so the customer has some idea what to expect when we get there.
Bad back? Get Good Feet with the personalized arch support system from the Good Feet store. Clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Good Feet, good life. The Good Feet store. Book your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
It's out with the old and in with the new. You know what they say. New year, new you. King Furniture is celebrating the new year with special trade-in offers. Trade in your old recliner for $50 towards a new one. Trade in your old sofa for $100. Trade in your old mattress for $75. And we'll deliver and haul away for free. Shop store-wide savings as we continue to clear out inventory and make room for new styles for 2025. Plus, get free delivery and 12 months no interest payments. The King Furniture New Year's sale going on now.
For the professional, it's not enough to possess knowledge. We seek to refine it, to wield its power, to redefine its boundaries. Knowledge is put to the test in every GMC Sierra. Get 0% APR on select Sierra 1500 models. That's over $5,600 in average finance savings. We are professional grade GMC.
Dreaming of a career but worried about time and cost? At CVTC, we make it easy. With low tuition costs and a wide variety of programs to choose from, we'll get you job ready in just 1 to 2 years. You'll graduate with minimal debt and find a career you love with competitive starting salaries. Dive into your future today with affordable, fast, and rewarding programs at CVTC. Visit cvtc.edu to learn more.
Taco John's just married a taco with a quesadilla. Well, they're more like grilled all-white meat chicken and creamy fiesta sauce with melty, cheesy benefits. But OMG's, they're good together. The new OM Cheese Quesadilla Taco at Taco John's.
Increase your home's energy efficiency and enjoy year-round comfort with Asher Lasting Exteriors. Our windows and doors combine quality craftsmanship and cutting-edge innovation from the trusted brand Renewal by Andersen, and our team provides expert installations backed by industry-leading transferable warranties. Take advantage of our biggest savings ever and receive up to 25% off your entire project. Connect with our team today and request a free, no-obligation consultation at goasher.com.
Water testing is one of the most important things that we do. And it's really important that we test the water coming into the house before the equipment and after the equipment to see what the equipment is doing and if it's doing the job that they are wanting it to do.
All right, well, good morning. Starting your early morning. If you're just joining us here, temperatures yet again back to the cold. Minus 14 in Ladysmith, minus 12 in Eau Claire. Down to La Crosse, we're at 1 degree right now. Other areas like Sparta and Black River Falls between 12 and 15 degrees. A little bit colder down to the south as well. Hey, we'll carry over to how this all feels on your skin, though. Minus 12 in Eau Claire. Feels like it's minus 10 in La Crosse. Kiddos about to go to school in about an hour or so. You're looking at very cold temperatures from Black River Falls down to Sparta and down to Viroqua as well. Hey, let's carry over to your forecast here for the kids going to school today. 2 degrees possibly as we go into the 7 o'clock hour for this early morning. We've got at least breezy conditions with mostly clear skies for you. And of course, you're looking at maybe 14 degrees for the high today, possibly getting into wind chills, or at least by that time we're going to see colder conditions coming in. So they're going to be about 14 degrees or so. Hanging on to Eau Claire, though, as we go right into minus 3 for the 7 a.m. hour. Clear skies, breezy conditions, wind chill at minus 14. Snow pops in the afternoon around the 3 o'clock hour for you there. You're going to be seeing 21 degrees possibly with light snow in the forecast. All right, of course, we get into how this all plays out today for Eau Claire. Clear skies to partly cloudy to mostly cloudy to cloudy skies working into the afternoon. As you see that with snow on the way around 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock. We'll carry over to La Crosse. You're looking at the clear skies with sunshine going into the late morning hours. By the time we get in the afternoon, we're going to go from sunny to at least mostly cloudy skies. That carries over to the 3 o'clock hour. By the time we get in the 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, potential for snow is on the way. That's a look at your forecast. I'll have more about this coming up for you in a moment.
In your consumer news this morning, Capital One is under fire from federal watchdogs. The banking giant is accused of cheating millions by keeping savings rates artificially low while secretly offering better rates on new accounts. The Consumer Protection Bureau says the move cost consumers more than $2 billion in lost interest. You may soon find nutrition labels in a more prominent place on food packages. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration is proposing that information be added to the front of the packaged foods. The proposed label would break down information about sodium, added sugar, and saturated fat content, and it would say whether the food contains low, medium, or high levels of the nutrients. The FDA says the agency's nutrition priorities are part of a government-wide effort to combat the nation's chronic disease crisis. Your wallet taking another hit this morning as egg prices continue to soar. Bird flu wiped out more than 17 million hens in just 2 months, leaving some store shelves empty. A dozen large eggs now costing $3.65. That is $1.50 more than just last year. Wisconsin grocers say suppliers are scrambling to keep up with demand.
In a perfect world, you'd see this in a couple of months start to stabilize, but you never know. Again, Wisconsin retailers are, I think, a little bit more optimistic, and I can tell you that the farmers we've talked with are really working really very hard to make sure that there's adequate supply.
Wisconsin grocers are urging shoppers to be patient and flexible during the shortage, while local restaurants are also feeling the squeeze from the rising costs. Fact checkers are working to extinguish misinformation about the Los Angeles wildfires spreading across social media, all as Meta prepares to remove its fact checkers. Brian Abel reports on misinformation being spread and Meta's change and what it means for users on the platform.
The parent company of Facebook and Instagram, Meta, is moving away from using third-party fact checkers to filter information.
The fact checkers have just been too politically biased and have destroyed more trust than they've created.
Soon, it will be up to the public to flag inaccurate content, replacing the independent professionals that are right now working to stop misinformation about the California fires from spreading.
The consequences of these suggested changes could be devastating.
Zuckerberg says Meta will move to a user-generated community notes model like those on X. Communications professor Yotam Ophir says the decision could create more problems than it solves.
If we look at Twitter, now X, we see chaos. We see a rise in misinformation as evident in scientific studies.
He says the average social media user may not be equipped to detect deception.
Fact checkers are capable of doing that. They have the tools, they have the knowledge.
But that's not always the case, according to digital social media professor Karen North, which she says is part of the problem Zuckerberg is trying to address.
He feels that the trade-off of having the fact check versus the bias of the fact checkers is a problem for him. So he's pulling back on that and handing it back over to the public.
North says there will still be safeguards in the forms of trained algorithms, internal trust and safety employees, plus the community moderators and the public.
So the ecosystem of moderation will still be there to catch most of the stuff that's harmful.
Let's look at your consumer news. We'll send it back over to Art now for a look at our forecast.
All right, Alexander, and away we go with that. We'll hold on to, again, today, seasonal average temperatures. We have PM light snow coming into the forecast. We'll also have those cold temperatures starting this early morning, minus 15 in some cases this early morning. Mild and breezy, though, as we go right through Thursday and Friday, and then breezy conditions continue to go into Saturday with falling temperatures on the way. That being said, we get a look here, CityCam 8 looking pretty nice out there so far. We're looking at skies that are holding on to at least mostly clear to clear skies right now. Taking a look at Menominee here, you're seeing a little bit of light snow that was from the other day, back still on the roadways there, but eventually we're getting into -9, and it feels like -9 out there, so the wind chill's not really affecting them. Here's the cloud cover right now. We're looking at least mostly sunny to mostly clear skies, or I should say mostly clear to clear skies out there right now. Holding on to the evening hours, we could see visibilities drop as winds begin to pick up due to the breezy and gusty winds when this system comes through the forecast area, bringing some light snow. That'll knock down the visibilities down to about 1 to 3 to 4 miles per hour. In some cases, I should say miles. In fact, we'll see as we go right into Wednesday by the 9 o'clock hour, some of those locations are still holding on to that. Then in the wee hours of the night, you're going to still see some of that happening in the overnight hours. For those folks that have to get to work a little bit earlier in the morning, you may be in a little bit of fog. High temperatures, though, we're holding on to at least 20 to about maybe 23 degrees today. We'll also hold on to about, once again, with that snow working through the forecast, it'll be colder starting the early morning, and then we'll get into sunny and breezy conditions, possibly with increasing clouds on the way, getting us to at least cloudy skies to finish out the daytime. Hey, how about this, though? 7 a.m., we carry through how this all plays out. Snow starts to cross the Mississippi, possibly getting into the early afternoon. By the time we get into about 3 o'clock or so, that snow will be pretty prevalent getting into areas by Ladysmith and Eau Claire. We're looking at about maybe a 50 to 60% chance of snow up in that region there. And then we'll also see here locally, we're holding on to about a 30% chance, so a little limited amount of snow. We could also see some freezing drizzle up to the north as well, holding on to areas along I-94. We'll also pick up this as we go right through your evening commute, so you're going to have a snow flurries and snow showers into your evening commute, so bear that in mind. We'll see more of the flurries coming back again as we go in the 11 o'clock hour and into the 3 o'clock hour in the early morning hours, possibly cutting in with some fog, low cloud activity that I showed you before, so lower visibilities going into the morning, and then of course we still have the clouds still holding on to at least mostly cloudy skies through Thursday. More snow possibly coming back again, brushing our area as we go into Thursday night into Friday. How about this, though? The snow, well, maybe a 1 or 2 inches up to the north. Everybody else is a trace up to about an inch or less there for you. How about this, though? By Thursday, you're looking at 29 or so to about maybe 36 degrees out there. And it's a good-looking day under partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. We'll hold on to this as we see more snow popping into the picture as we go through Thursday. Warmer air continues to hold on, but by Saturday, colder air follows. Coming in from Canada drops that colder air in the area. But believe it or not, we'll still hold on to the 40s in your forecast. How about that, though, as we finish out going into what's coming in for Thursday, going into Friday? Not much happening, but we'll see some snow coming back again as we go into Saturday. Then we'll carry over a possibility here as we go right into it. You're looking at some warming temperatures all the way through Friday, with colder temperatures on the way through Saturday, dropping down to Sunday, 3 degrees to 0 degrees on Monday, MLK Day. Back to you, Alexandra.
All right, Art, thank you. Well, why these winter winds have your eyes watering nonstop, we'll tell you about the science behind those cold weather tears when we come back.
Coming up in the Blitz, big-time conference matchups, plus the north side versus south side in boys action. Coming your way in just a bit.
Dear Winter, our squad of vehicles with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive is ready. Bundle up, Toyota.
Right now, lease a new 2024 Tacoma for $319 a month. Toyota. Let's go places.
Brad Schimmel, prosecutor, attorney general, rule of law judge. Schimmel put pedophiles behind bars, took on criminal illegals and cartels, protected kids and seniors from abuse.
Law school taught me the rights of the accused, but justice for the abused is denied all too often. I'm Brad Schimmel. On the state Supreme Court, I'll apply the law equally, because everyone has the right to feel safe.
Schimmel, for justice.
I have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, but thanks to Skyrizi and Clear Skin, I'm all in. With Skyrizi, I saw dramatically clearer skin, and many even achieved 100% clear skin.
Don't use if allergic. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and TB. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
With Skyrizi, nothing on my skin means everything. Ask your dermatologist about Skyrizi today.
Your home, a place of comfort and safety, could be trying to tell you something. Interior cracks, sloping floors, hard to open doors and windows are all signals of foundation failure that you can't ignore. Choose American Waterworks.
Wow, Forest Berry Fudge is amazing. This is melting in my mouth.
Dill pickle? Whoa, that's actually good.
Holy fudge. This is the best thing ever.
Expressions brought to you by Valley Fudge and Candy. Find us in Coon Valley, Wisconsin, or order online today.
Dear Winter, our squad of vehicles with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive is ready. Bundle up, Toyota.
Right now, get 1.99% APR for 72 months on a tough new Tundra. Toyota. Let's go places.
The Blitz. Well, good luck finding a better boys hoops game in the state last night than we had in Onalaska. Hilltoppers number 6 in Division II. Blue Gold's unbeaten entering the night, number 2 in D4. Two of the best coaches in the Cooley region duking it out, Brad Reinhardt and Craig Cole. Home side came ready to play. Noah Chenault swings it over to Broden Steiner, who muscles it up and in for the 2. Then Brendan Chenault with the fadeaway J, forcing an Aquinas timeout. Blue Golds, they would respond quickly. Logan Becker reads the pass, and look out below. The junior with some serious hang time to make it a 6-point deficit. And it's Trey Barr getting to the rack, finishing for the hoop and the harm right before the half. The ball swung back to Noah Chenault, who will beat the buzzer to go up 3 at the break. Onalaska hands Aquinas their first loss of the season. To the north side we go. Lacrosse Logan hosting Central. Riverhawks with the quick start. Frankie Wilk right past the defense using the right hand, laying it in for 2. And then it's Derek Pangier. He gets to his spot, mid-range jumper, nothing but net. Central leads. Rangers fighting back. Bradley Check on the fast break, up the court, right back to Check. He's going to get the shot to fall. Logan cuts into the deficit, but Central would pull away. Wilk, slick pass inside of Jalen Calvert for the bucket. Riverhawks take it 84-47. Two one-loss teams facing off in Blair. The Wildcats out to a fast start with Ryan Oldendorf to Hunter Wagner. Strains the step back 3-ball. Good team passing early. Senior Drake Sweat drives the lane hard and lays it in to get the Thunder rolling back into this game. The offense was too much from the visitors. Jack Steinke rains down a couple of shots from deep to give Osseo Fairchild a commanding lead in the first half. And it would be enough to win the game as the Thunder roll 62-60. Also, be sure to check out the story on our website of an Onalaska man trying to become part of a Packers fan Hall of Fame. I'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
Increase your home's energy efficiency and enjoy year-round comfort with Asher Lassen Exteriors. Take advantage of our biggest savings ever and receive up to 25% off your entire project. Connect with our team today and request a free, no-obligation consultation at goasher.com.
Where's the best place for local fresh quality meat? The Holman Locker and Meat Market, of course. Purchase a minimum of 25 pounds of 90% lean ground beef for $5.79 per pound or 85% lean for $5.39 per pound. Shop local at your Holman Locker and Meat Market and much, much more.
To top, the bargain shop.
In all home furniture stores.
Welcome to Hazel and Lola's Kitchen Boutique, your new go-to for all things gourmet and kitchen chic. From artisanal cookware to unique gourmet ingredients, we've got everything to inspire your inner chef. Discover our exclusive collection of kitchen gadgets, quality knives, and delicious culinary delights. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a home cooking enthusiast, Hazel and Lola's is here to elevate your kitchen game. Hazel and Lola's, located inside Wesco and Sparta. Stop in today and tell them Peyton sent you.
As your local Touchstone Energy Cooperative, we wear many hats. We take pride in serving our members and our community by going the extra mile in everything we do. Because we not only work here, we live here. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, your source for power and information.
I would never forget the picture that I have. I'm the only one that's not smiling. Even though I'm with my close friends, I felt alone. I didn't feel pretty. I didn't feel confident. When I got Invisalign, I built my confidence. It was the best investment that I could do.
To everyone who's hungry for something special,
Culver's is the place for us. Hi, what can I make fresh for you today? It's nice being greeted by people who are glad to see you. And I appreciate that they use real ingredients, like fresh beef and Wisconsin cheese. The frozen custard is so fresh and creamy, it tastes like it was made just for us. It's our pleasure. Just spending time with family, that's what mealtime at Culver's is all about.
from Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious!
Hip, knee, or back pain? See if Arch Supports can help you at the Good Feet store.
Holman Locker and Meat Market, your place for fresh, quality local meat. Now's the time to stock up with our winter freezer filler bundle. Call and order yours today. Eat healthy. Shop local at your Holman Locker and Meat Market and much, much more.
Increase your home's energy efficiency and enjoy year-round comfort with Asher Lasting Exteriors. Take advantage of our biggest savings ever and receive up to 25% off your entire project. Connect with our team today and request a free, no-obligation consultation at goasher.com.
Expect more from News 8 Now. Thanks for watching.
Welcome back. A critical call for blood donors this morning across the region. Toma Health and Versiti launching a 2-day blood drive today at Recreation Park. Donors need to be at least 110 pounds, bring a photo ID, and be 17 or older. 16-year-olds can donate with parent permission. The entire process will take just 10 minutes. Officials say the need is urgent after holiday donations fell short. House Republicans are advancing legislation that would ban transgender athletes from women's sports at federally funded schools. The bill now heads to the Senate, where it needs 60 votes to clear the filibuster. The measure would still allow practice sessions between teams, but would ban transgender athletes from competition. Americans are falling out of love with their food choices. A new study finds 81% now enjoy their meals. That's down from 87% last year. Healthy eating habits also taking a hit, dropping 7 points to 75%. Researchers are still searching for what's behind this growing food frustration. The brutal cold is settling in, and it's enough to make you cry. All it takes is a few seconds outside before the tears start flowing. Why is it that cold weather makes our eyes water? Jeff Wagner looked into why you're tearing up and how to stop it.
Fresh flakes falling.
Nice to have some natural snow on top.
Keeps the ski trails busy at Theo Worth Park in Minneapolis. The January sun wasn't to be found, but eye protection was still a popular choice.
Just to kind of keep things warm, keep the wind down.
Otherwise it can really hurt and kind of make you tear up after you're done with your workout.
An accessory Nick Partington regretfully skipped.
I should wear glasses with the snowflakes because when they get in my eyes, it kind of stings.
Why does cold weather make our eyes water?
Our eyes are really smart, and they're trying to keep your eyes as moist as possible, so they'll keep on tearing as long as they sense that dryness.
Dr. Sasha Struhl is a pediatric ophthalmologist.
Is there a certain temperature threshold for when this occurs?
Not so much a temperature threshold, it's more about when the dryness comes in.
Minnesota's cold winter air tends to be dry, which is why our eyes water more now than during the humid summer months. Conversely, your eyes might water on a breezy July day in Arizona, since the climate is dry year-round.
So our eyes really have two forms of tearing, one that's reflexive to when we feel our eyes are dry, and one that's just our baseline tearing.
Basal tears constantly keep your eyes lubricated and protected and have oil and mucus in them. Reflex tears, the ones that flow to combat dry air, are mainly water.
And so even though it's trying to moisturize our eyes, you can imagine if you put your hand into water, it's not going to moisturize your hand as much from the dry weather than if you put it in oil or lotion.
One might think skiers, ice anglers, and others who spend lots of time outside in the winter might build up a tolerance to dry air, but Dr. Struhl says it doesn't work that way.
The best thing you can do is actually improve your tear health so it's less of an impact on you. The oil part of our tears comes from our eyelid glands, And so doing warm compresses for your eyelids, kind of giving yourself that spa treatment at night can actually improve how we produce our oil, and our tears can actually be healthier.
Using eye drops, specifically artificial tears, will replicate healthy tears and better add moisture. There's also ointments you can apply to your eyes before going to bed. Lastly, eye protection.
I like to use these type of lenses for days where it's more overcast to help you see the snow better.
Glasses and goggles keep snow and wind at bay, giving you a tear-free day on your next winter adventure.
These are prescription, so I always have glasses on.
A SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket was successfully launched this morning from the Kennedy Space Center. It's carrying not one but 2 lunar landers. The first is called Blue Ghost. That is a 6.6-foot tall lander, part of NASA's effort to return humans to the moon. The second is 7.5 feet tall. The Blue Ghost should reach the moon in 45 days after spending 25 days orbiting Earth and a couple weeks in lunar orbit. Another winning moment for a La Crosse native on Let's Make a Deal. Logan High's Zach Chowkey scoring a $3,000 home gym 2 years after winning a car for his mom.
We get to meet all of these other very creative people who are also in the cast. You know, what most people don't realize is it only tapes for an hour, but you're there pretty much all day and you're connecting with all of the other people in the audience. And so you get to cheer for them along the way, and you get to be happy when they win things too. And you're really invested in it. So it's a lot of fun.
Chowkey watched the show in La Crosse yesterday with his grandma. The Sparta Free Library is undergoing major renovations. The community won't have to wait much longer for the grand opening. News 8's Allison Fergit reports.
It's been years in the making, and soon the renovations at the Sparta Free Library will be complete, and patrons will be able to enjoy all the new upgrades.
We are thrilled to be halfway through with our renovation and expansion of the Sparta Free Library.
Originally opened in 1902, the library has been a staple of the Sparta community for more than a century, and as time has passed, what the community needs from the library has changed.
The technologies that they have, they just couldn't meet the demands of what the modern technology is. You know, the wiring, the lighting, the capabilities of internet.
An update was necessary, and starting in 2018, plans were put into motion to renovate the library. City Council was on board with the project, but the $6.2 million price tag meant they'd need some help.
The city did say that we would fund, I believe it was 70% of the project, kind of tasked them, challenged them, if for lack of a better word, to raise the rest for the project.
An amount the library initially thought would be difficult to raise, but through knocking on doors and good old-fashioned hard work, they were able to raise the $1.5 million in just under 4 years.
We've had people from all over the world actually donate. They either grew up in Sparta or they just love the idea of a community hub like a library growing and improving and meeting the needs of the community.
The renovations will include a discovery zone for kids, new technology, and additional space for library programming.
The libraries have really grown and expanded. We look to find unique programs that'll draw people in to learn a little something or just for pure enjoyment.
The library has been able to stay open through most of the construction. Phase 1 of the project is complete, and now they're in the final stretch.
We're very excited to get this whole thing finished so that people can start enjoying it.
Allison Fergit, News 8 Now, this morning.
Construction is set to wrap up on March 10th. That is a few weeks after they'll host a grand opening. And if you're interested in supporting the library, they are still taking donations for the project. Young artists taking over the Pump House as La Crosse students showcase their creative talents. 9 area schools filling the gallery with paintings, drawings, and mixed media, giving these budding artists their first taste of the spotlight.
So I usually like to do aquatic art because, I don't know, I just like fish and stuff. I generally draw dragons, but for some of these, since they were assignments, I had to categorize stuff less, no dragons, but it was still nice.
The student artwork is on display in the Pump House's balcony gallery till February 1st. Admission is free. And something else with free admission is the skating rink at Pogue Park. That is now open from noon till 6 p.m. on weekends and non-school days, and all rentals are free. Now we'll send it over to meteorologist Art Jarrett. He has a look at our morning commute.
Thanks, Alexandra. As we get into it here, we're holding on to conditions with snow possibly in the forecast area. That colder air still holding on, coming out of Canada for us, and eventually we'll hold on to winds that are calm right now, but they'll begin to stir in the next couple of hours up. In fact, you'll see the gusts kicking up by the time we get in the 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock hour. We're going to get up to about maybe 20 to about 30 mile per hour winds popping through the forecast area as we go through the day. And especially during your evening commute, you could see a lot of blowing snow working into your forecast as well. That could cause low visibilities into the morning hours. So the visibilities you can see right now, only Marshfield is holding on to just a mile or two off their visibility issues there. We're holding on to Eau Claire dropping down as we get that fog and low cloud activity coming in into the afternoon, or excuse me, the evening commute here. We'll see that all the way into the evening as well. Around 9 o'clock, it all begins to back off, holding on to more of that coming in as we go into tomorrow morning with a little fog in place for us. We'll also hold on to current temperatures, looking at least minus 16 in Ladysmith, minus 12 in Eau Claire, 1 degree in La Crosse. This is how it looks as we finish out the day. La Crosse has sunshine coming in, getting into mostly cloudy skies to cloudy conditions with snow coming in around the 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock hour and continuing through your evening commute. Eau Claire will hold on to that with possibly a 2 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's about a 40 to 50 to 60% chance of that continuing on into your forecast. As we get into it here, take a look. High temperatures today, 20 to at least maybe 24 degrees out there. Have a wonderful day. Hey, how about this though? Ringo is going country. Yeah, we'll have more on his new album and his recording of Ringo and Friends at the Ryman this week. After the break, we'll have more about that coming up.
We've done many, many renovations. We bought an old house and have made it into an up-to-date house. Whenever anything involves plumbing, the first call I make is to Maxwell White. Their technicians put together a great final product.
We're an implant-focused practice. I think the advantage of a father-daughter practice is, I've been at this for 30 years now. I learned things that worked well and things that didn't work so well.
And it was fun to be able to just jump in and kind of complement that. I feel like it made both of us stronger.
You don't expect it when you walk into a dental office. You don't expect the family aspect, but when you walk into our doors, we're going to give you that.
If you think you have a full mouth of challenges, come see us. Come down for a free consultation.
I'm Mike Rowe, and this is the most honest commercial you're going to see all week.
Today, we're waterproofing a basement.
How long do you think this problem has been a problem?
Well, actually, the homeowner told us that she's lived here for 42 years, and when they first moved in, they had water issues.
Yeah.
That is like your telltale sign of like, hey, I'm having an issue, and that's when people should call.
Get a free and honest inspection with Innovative Basement Authority, a Groundworks company.
I told myself I was okay with my moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis symptoms.
With my psoriatic arthritis symptoms. But just okay isn't okay.
And I was done settling.
If you still have symptoms after trying a TNF blocker like Humira or Enbrel, Rinvoq works differently. Rinvoq is a once-daily pill that can rapidly relieve joint pain, stiffness, and swelling as fast as 2 weeks for some. And even at the 3-year mark, many people felt this relief. Rinvoq can stop joint damage, and in PSA can leave skin clear or almost clear.
Rinvoq can lower ability to fight infections. Before treatment, test for TB and do blood work. Serious infections, blood clots, some fatal. Cancers including lymphoma and skin, serious allergic reactions, GI tears, death, heart attack, and stroke occurred. CV event risk increases in age 50 plus with a heart disease risk factor. Tell your doctor if you've had these events, infection, Hep B or C, smoked, are pregnant, or planning. Don't take if allergic or have an infection.
Done settling?
Ask your rheumatologist for Rinvoq.
And take back what's yours.
Here at Maxwell White, we know how valuable your time is. From issues with your hot water to slower clogged drains, our team is always on time with friendly service and solutions you can trust. Don't wait. Contact Maxwell White. Plumbing done right.
All right, all aboard coming in for the La Crosse roller coaster ride as we go into this. Starting out with temperatures down to minus 15 this early morning, so a cold start for us. Then in the afternoon, seasonal temperatures, breezy and gusty winds through the forecast area. Light snow coming in as we go into the afternoon and evening hours all the way to the midnight, possibly into 3 a.m. in the morning. And then 5 to at least 12 a.m. you're going to see snow pretty much for La Crosse and, of course, the breezy winds. We'll get into 2 degrees for breezy conditions for kids going to school today at 7 a.m. It'll feel like it's minus 10 out there. Heading home, though, you're looking at temperatures warming up. We'll probably see temperatures getting up to at least maybe 13 degrees. I should say maybe up to 23 degrees today, possibly. So they'll stay a little bit warmer than what Eau Claire is holding on to. You've got snow coming in for you guys as you start the afternoon, about 3 o'clock or so for the latter portion there. We're also holding on to minus 3 for kids going to school this early morning under clear skies. That being said, take a look here as we go through the wind chill tracker. You're holding on to minus numbers. By the time we get into 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, we lose those minus numbers, getting into warmer conditions, at least from 6 to about 10 degrees out there. Holding on to high temperatures, though, we'll go from at least 18 to about maybe 23 degrees through the day. So we're warming up. We'll be even warmer for tomorrow as well. Wednesday highs kicking in, as you can see here, with that snow passing through the area, taking us right through this sky tracker here as we go through the morning hours. Then in the afternoon, possibly as we get deeper in about the 3 o'clock hour, you'll see more of that snow become more prevalent up to the north. They have about a 50 to 60% chance they're hanging out with that snow. We have about a 30% chance of that going in. As I mentioned before, low visibilities will be in the forecast, carrying all the way through the evening commute. Once that's done, you're going to see that snow begin to break down by the 9 o'clock hour, going into the 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock hour, starting to move out of the region. Eventually, some of that comes back down with another blast coming in, putting in temperatures into the 30s, though. It's a little bit warmer. Remember, I mentioned that, but we'll also hold on to maybe some snow finishing out by the 3 o'clock hour. Possible fog in the early morning with low visibilities going into your forecast. By the time we get into the afternoon and evening hours, we're in the 30s and maybe some 20s coming back with more snow on the way. Holding on to that snow, as you can see here, by the time we get in the 7 o'clock hour, carrying over to Thursday, we're holding on to maybe 1 to 2 inches of snow in your forecast. And as that continues on, we'll hold on to the possibility of Thursday conditions to be at least 29 to around, say, 33 degrees. Let's take a look what I've got going on for your 8-day forecast. As we go into your forecast, you're looking at the possibilities of holding on to at least 23 degrees today, then 35 tomorrow. The mild continues all the way into Friday. Then we go into Saturday now. We have about Friday going into Saturday is about a 20% chance of snow. You have a 30% chance of snow cutting in for Saturday, breezy and gusty winds. That's going to drop temperatures down to 18 degrees. By the time we get into Sunday, we have a 20% chance of rainfall, or snow, excuse me, turning into about 3 degrees for your high, 0 degrees for MLK Day for your high on Monday. Partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies in your forecast, carrying over to frigid temperatures all the way to Tuesday. And of course, we get back to 27 degrees and into the mild once we go into Wednesday. Be safe out there. Have a wonderful day.
In our Morning Buzz report, Beyonce is putting her plans on hold to help Los Angeles wildfire victims. The superstar is donating $2.5 million through her Be Good Foundation while praising first responders battling the deadly blazes. Her scheduled announcement now postponed as the fires continue to claim lives and homes. And Ringo Starr is going country. The musician is recording Ringo and Friends at the Ryman in Nashville this week. The recording will benefit the American Red Cross and people affected by the California wildfires.
The peace of what have been called the Serene Olympics was shattered this morning. The games are still going on. Within a few hundred yards, 9 terrified living human beings are being held prisoner.
Sports journalists find themselves covering a kidnapping and massacre in September 5. The film shows how the world watched live the terrorist attack that took place during the '72 Summer Olympics.
Celebration of his brilliance and what it takes to be such a brilliant person. Fans are ready. You know, they want to see this movie.
A 9-hour Prince documentary caught in streaming limbo this morning. Netflix's film is now blocked by the music legend's estate, which demands his story be told without sensationalism. The streaming giant staying silent on the dispute. And before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
All right, sadly, we don't have any birthdays to celebrate with you today.
But if you're celebrating, happy birthday. And if you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88, we would love to feature them.
That's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab on our website.
Stay with us. We have everything you need to know in 5 minutes or less. Your Morning News Now is up next.
Coming up on CBS Mornings in just a few months, if you want to board a flight in the U.S., you're going to need something called Real ID. If you are not sure what that is or how to get it, don't worry. Chris Van Cleve has everything you need to know as the deadline approaches. Also, we will take you to a unique cafe in a library of all places. And you'll meet the man behind the restaurant where you don't need money to get a hot, healthy meal. And the hit series Severance is back this week. Actor Gwendolyn Christie is here in studio to talk about joining the cast and what's ahead of season 2. We will have everything you need to know and more on the show. We'll see you at 7.
Where's the best place for local, fresh, quality meat? The Holman Locker and Meat Market, of course. Purchase a minimum of 25 pounds of 90% lean ground beef for $5.79 per pound or 85% lean for $5.39 per pound. Shop local at your Holman Locker and Meat Market and much, much more.
Brad Schimmel, prosecutor, attorney general, rule of law judge. Schimmel put pedophiles behind bars, took on criminal illegals and cartels, protected kids and seniors from abuse.
Law school taught me the rights of the accused, but justice for the abused is denied all too often. I'm Brad Schimmel. On the state Supreme Court, I'll apply the law equally because everyone has the right to feel safe.
Schimmel for justice.
You're thinking about new windows and doors. I've been thinking about new windows and doors for over 40 years. You're thinking about the best window at the best price. I'm thinking about the best window at the best price for you. The best quality, installed by professional installers at a fair price. If you're planning new windows and doors, you owe it to yourself to contact the Board Store Home Improvements for a prompt free estimate. You'll be glad you did. Contact us today.
Wisconsin, one of those places where families spend their winters among frozen lakes and snow-covered hills. With all the fun they're having, it's easy to take for granted how they warm up by the fire or simply adjusting their thermostat. But for some of us, it's not that easy. Some of us need to decide whether to heat or to eat, or to further neglect our basic survival needs. We are working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans, all struggling to pay record heating bills. These dangerous temperatures aren't just uncomfortable for us, they can be deadly. If you are struggling to decide if you can put food on the table or heat your home, please reach out for a hand up. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
Holman Locker and Meat Market, your place for fresh, quality local meat. Now's the time to stock up with our winter freezer filler bundle. Call and order yours today. Eat healthy. Shop local at your Holman Locker and Meat Market and much, much more.
What is a hero? Not the kind from comic books and movies, saving the day. We're talking about everyday heroes, those with a special kind of courage or ability, those saving the day, one person at a time. News 8 Now wants to find those heroes and thank them for bettering our community. Go to news8000.com, click on Features, then Hometown Heroes to nominate someone you feel is truly a hometown hero. First Warn Weather on News 8 Now.
Welcome to the Jennifer Hudson Show.
It's a choice. I choose every day.
Feel joy. This is joy right here.
This room is just full of love.
Let me show you how we do it. I got a few ladies here that you have inspired. You did it. Don't you want to meet those heroes? Come on out here. It feels so good to just be in the presence of this joy.
Weekdays at 4 on News 8.
Get the day's news in your inbox. Email newsletters from News 8 Now. Sign up today. Go to news8000.com/newsletters to get started.
Welcome back at 6:52. Time for your morning news now. High winds and dry conditions are still a major concern this morning in Southern California. Firefighters are monitoring the possible spread of fires or the sparking of new ones. FEMA disaster assistance centers have now opened in the area to help those who have lost everything. The man hoping to lead the Pentagon was in the hot seat on Capitol Hill. President-elect Trump's pick for Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth facing a grilling from Democrats during a hearing of the Senate Armed Services Committee. He was questioned about his drinking and sexual assault allegations, which he continues to deny. Republicans are backing the former Fox News host despite some initial pushback. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers taking action on gun violence, creating a new state prevention office. The executive order follows last month's deadly shooting at Madison's Abundant Life Christian School. $10 million will launch the effort. Wisconsin's fight over toxic PFAS chemicals now in the hands of the state Supreme Court. At issue is whether the DNR can force businesses to test for these harmful chemicals found in everyday items. The state's largest business group argues the DNR lacks authority, having won in lower courts. But in yesterday's hearing, justices appeared to side with environmental regulators who say the state's spill law covers newly discovered hazards.
This happens all the time. An agency has a general regulatory statute that sets out a standard, and it's presented with new sets of facts. You know, does this new activity fall within the statutory standard?
There is no principle that I'm aware of in the law that if the legislature passes a broad, somewhat vaguely worded statute, but specific enough to do something, that they can't act until they pass, until they have a rule.
The ruling could impact communities like French Island, where residents have relied on bottled water for 4 years. The La Crosse Regional Airport looking to bring Delta back to its runways, asking county leaders for $250,000 to do that. The airport has been down to just one carrier since Delta pulled out last June. Officials say it'll take $1.5 million to convince the airline to return, money that would protect Delta from potential losses.
So a new airline comes here, they have a certain amount of risk. You know, if they have their target goals of what their ticket prices, margins, things like that are going to be, then we actually will cover any losses that they would incur if the ticket sales weren't up to their standards.
The airport is trying to get any airline it can. The county will vote at 6 p.m. tomorrow on whether or not they will match those funds for the minimum revenue guarantee. A critical call this morning for blood donors. Toma Health and Verse City are launching a 2-day blood drive at Recreation Park. Donors need to be at least 110 pounds, bring a photo ID, and be 17 or older, but 16-year-olds can donate with parent permission. And the skating rink at Pope Park is now open from noon till 6 p.m. on weekends and non-school days. Skate rentals are free.
All right, cold start this early morning. Eventually, we'll get into some snow in the forecast, starting up in areas by Ladysmith and Eau Claire around the 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock hour. Then by the time we get in the afternoon and evening commute there, we'll probably see that kicking in for areas right by La Crosse, getting down to the south as well. Breezy conditions will last all the way into Tuesday of next week. We're holding on to warmer temperatures to finish for Friday. Then colder conditions come in for Saturday, and man, oh man, 18 down to 3 degrees on Sunday, down to 0 degrees on Monday. These are for high temperatures, and 13 degrees on Tuesday. My goodness, back to you.
Oh yeah, that is very cold, Art. Well, thank you. Several Italian museums are offering visitors dog sitting services. Owners were able to use the service for free at 4 museums in Rome. On Sunday, there's a paid version of the service at 290 museums in 53 cities across Italy. The dog sitter meets the owner outside of the museum and takes the dog for a walk while the owner is inside. The service normally costs about $10 an hour. The promotional free version of the service launched Sunday, and it'll repeat one day every month over the next 15 months, each time in a different Italian city.
Maybe that's why that cat wound up somewhere else.
Oh, he was trying to get to Italy.
Trying to get,
yeah. And it ended up back home, unfortunately.
What we all do, right?
Yeah, right.
All happens
the endless loop. All right. Well, thank you for starting your day with us. We'll see you back here at noon. Until then, enjoy your day.